Here's something that should bother you. Roughly 80% of American adults are deficient in one mineral that controls over 300 functions in your body. And millions of those people, maybe you, are already taking a magnesium supplement every single day and still running on empty. That means the problem isn't awareness. The problem is that most people, and most doctors, are missing when the deficiency is happening, why it's happening, and which signals your body has been sending you for months, maybe years, that you've been told are normal aging. They're not normal. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, what's actually causing the shortage, and the specific steps that fix it. Let's start with what mainstream medicine gets wrong. When your doctor checks your magnesium level, and most don't, by the way, it's rarely on a standard blood panel, they're checking the magnesium floating in your blood serum. That number looks fine in most people. Here's the problem. Only about 1% of the magnesium in your body is in your blood. The other 99% is stored in your bones, muscles, and organs. So your blood test comes back normal, and your doctor says you're fine. But you're not fine. You're depleted at the tissue level, and no standard test is showing it. A study published in the journal Magnesium Research found that up to 68% of Americans consume less magnesium than the estimated average requirement. And a separate analysis from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that low dietary magnesium is associated with significantly elevated inflammation markers, including C-reactive protein, the same marker your doctor watches when they're worried about heart disease. So we have a mineral deficiency that doesn't show up on standard blood work that affects the majority of the population, and that's quietly driving inflammation, fatigue, nerve dysfunction, and hormonal disruption. And most people have no idea. Let me walk you through the real signals. Not the textbook list of cramps and fatigue. Those are late-stage symptoms. I'm talking about the early warning signs that most people chalk up to stress, getting older, or just the way things are now. The first one is what I call the nighttime body revolt. You wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning. Not to use the bathroom, not because of noise. You just wake up, heart racing a little, mind immediately spinning. You lie there, unable to get back to sleep for 45 minutes to an hour. This has become so common that people think it's just insomnia. It's not random insomnia. Magnesium is the primary mineral your nervous system uses to shift from activation to calm. It regulates GABA, the neurotransmitter that tells your brain to slow down. When magnesium is low, your cortisol doesn't taper the way it should through the night. You get a spike around 2 to 3 a.m. You wake up. You feel wired and tired at the same time. The second early sign is what I call invisible muscle tension. Not a full cramp. Those are advanced. I'm talking about the eye twitch that comes and goes. The tightness that lives in your neck and upper back no matter how much you stretch. The jaw you clench without realizing it. The calves that ache when you sit for too long. Magnesium is the mineral that allows muscles to release. Calcium causes muscle contraction. Magnesium causes muscle relaxation. When you're low in magnesium, your muscles are permanently leaning toward contraction. That chronic tension costs energy all day long, and it slowly progresses from discomfort to pain. Third sign, anxiety that has no obvious source. This one is important, and it gets misdiagnosed constantly. You feel a low-grade sense of dread or unease, sometimes first thing in the morning before anything stressful has even happened. It might show up as irritability, easily overwhelmed, a feeling that things could go wrong at any moment. Magnesium directly modulates NMDA receptors in the brain. These are the receptors involved in excitability and stress response. Without enough magnesium, your brain's stress circuitry runs hotter. A 2017 meta-analysis, published in PLOS One, reviewed 18 studies and found a significant association between low magnesium intake and symptoms of depression and anxiety. This is one of the most under-recognized connections in medicine. People spend years managing anxiety with medications that never address the underlying mineral deficiency. Now let's talk about why this deficiency is happening in the first place. Because you're not eating enough magnesium is only part of the answer. Root cause number 1, the food supply has changed. Dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and whole grains are the traditional sources of magnesium. but the magnesium content of these foods has dropped significantly over the past 50 years because of industrial farming practices that have depleted soil mineral content. A study from the University of Texas found that between 1950 and 1999, the magnesium content of vegetables declined by an average of 24%, meaning even if you're eating more vegetables than your parents did, you might be getting less magnesium. On top of that, processed food, which now makes up more than 60% of the average American's caloric intake, contains virtually no magnesium. So the baseline intake is low to begin with, and it's getting lower every decade. Root cause number 2. Your body is actively burning through its magnesium reserves faster than you realize. Every time you experience stress, physical or emotional, your body uses magnesium to produce stress hormones and calm the nervous system response. Chronic low-grade stress, which describes most people over 45, creates a steady magnesium drain. Add in poor sleep, which both causes and worsens magnesium depletion, and you get a cycle that's very hard to break without intervention. Certain medications also deplete magnesium significantly. Proton pump inhibitors, Prilosec, Nexium, Prevacid, have a well-documented FDA warning about causing severe magnesium deficiency. Diuretics, commonly prescribed for blood pressure, increase urinary magnesium excretion. Metformin, widely used for blood sugar control, is associated with lower magnesium levels. If you're taking any of these medications, and millions of Americans over 50 are, your doctor may have put you on something that is quietly worsening an already existing deficiency. Root cause number 3, and this is the one almost nobody talks about. You might be supplementing with magnesium and still staying deficient because you're taking the wrong form, or combining it with things that block absorption. Magnesium oxide, the form in most cheap supplements and many multivitamins, has a bioavailability of roughly 4%. That means your body uses about 4 cents out of every dollar you're spending on it. It's mostly a laxative. The forms that actually get into your cells are magnesium glycinate, magnesium malate, and magnesium L-threonate. These have bioavailability rates that are 5 to 10 times higher. And here's the absorption blocker most people don't know about. Calcium and magnesium compete for the same absorption pathway in the intestine. Taking your calcium supplement and your magnesium supplement at the same time means they're fighting each other. One wins, one doesn't get absorbed. In most cases, calcium wins because calcium is more aggressively promoted and people take more of it. Alcohol, high sugar intake, and excess caffeine all increase urinary magnesium excretion. So, the morning coffee, the afternoon coffee, the glass of wine at night. Over time, these compound the problem. Now let's talk about what actually fixes this. Step 1. Increase your dietary magnesium strategically. The goal is to add high-density sources into meals you're already eating rather than making dramatic dietary changes. Pumpkin seeds are the highest magnesium food per serving. 1 ounce delivers about 168 milligrams. Add a small handful to breakfast. Dark chocolate with 70% or higher cacao has around 65 milligrams per ounce and can replace a dessert. Cooked spinach delivers about 157 milligrams per cup, a small addition to dinner. Hemp seeds sprinkled on yogurt or a salad add around 100 milligrams per 3 tablespoons. Target 400 to 420 milligrams daily if you're male, 310 to 320 if female. Most people over 45 are coming in under 250. Close that gap with food first, then supplement for the rest. Step 2. Choose the right supplement form. At the right dose, at the right time. Magnesium glycinate is the most recommended form for overall deficiency and sleep. It's gentle on the digestive system, well absorbed and calming. Start at 200 milligrams and work up to 400 milligrams. Take it 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Do not take it at the same time as your calcium supplement. Separate them by at least 2 hours. If your primary complaint is muscle tension and physical fatigue, magnesium malate is worth adding during the day. It supports the energy production cycle in your cells. If you're dealing with cognitive fog or memory concerns, magnesium L-threonate crosses the blood-brain barrier and may be worth discussing with your doctor. Step 3. Address the drains. If you're on a PPI or diuretic, raise the magnesium issue explicitly with your doctor. Ask for a red blood cell magnesium test, not a serum test, which gives a more accurate picture of tissue levels. Cut back on alcohol if you're having more than 1 drink a day. Reduce the sugar load in your diet. These aren't optional if you're trying to restore balance. The drain has to slow down for the tank to fill. Step 4. Give it time and watch the signals. Magnesium restoration takes 4 to 8 weeks of consistent intake before many people notice full improvement. The first things to change are usually sleep quality and the frequency of nighttime waking. Then the muscle tension and twitching settles. Mood and anxiety improvements come next, often described as a return of emotional resilience that people hadn't realized they'd lost. Now, 3 mistakes that keep people stuck even when they're trying. Mistake 1. Taking magnesium in the morning with coffee. Caffeine increases magnesium excretion. Taking your supplement right after your first cup of coffee is counterproductive. Move it to evening. Mistake 2. Relying on a standard blood panel to confirm deficiency. If your doctor runs a standard metabolic panel, the serum magnesium number will look normal in most people who are genuinely depleted. If you want an accurate test, specifically request a red blood cell magnesium test, also called an RBC magnesium. It costs about the same and tells you something real. Mistake 3. Correcting magnesium without addressing vitamin D. These 2 nutrients are tightly linked. Magnesium is required to convert inactive vitamin D into its active form. If you're low in both, taking more vitamin D can actually make things worse by pulling your remaining magnesium reserves into the conversion process. Check both and address both. Let me give you the action plan. 4 things you can do starting this week. 1. Add 1 magnesium-rich food to each day. Pumpkin seeds, dark chocolate over 70%, cooked spinach or hemp seeds are the easiest entry points. 2. If you're not already supplementing, buy magnesium glycinate, not oxide, and take 200 to 400 milligrams before bed tonight. 3. If you're already supplementing and not seeing results, check the form on the label. If it says magnesium oxide, switch. 4. If you're on a PPI, diuretic, or metformin, bring up the magnesium depletion issue at your next appointment. Ask specifically for an RBC magnesium test. Most of the things people spend years trying to fix, the bad sleep, the tight muscles, the anxious edge, the low energy, are not irreversible. They are often a deficiency, 1 mineral, and the fix is not complicated. But it does require you to pay attention to something that the standard healthcare system is not paying attention to for you. If this video gave you something new to think about, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We cover the health topics that don't fit in a 10-minute doctor's appointment, and visit healthhustleacademy.com. We've put together the exact supplement stack and lifestyle tools we talk about in our videos, all in one place. Links are in the description below. Take care of your body. Nobody else is going to do it for you.